All right, everybody. First and foremost, let's start this off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. And we do so by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai. This is the Deacon Sakari back at y'all with another one. And today we're going to talk about white pastor talking or preaching against interracial marriage and saying it's a sin, it's a blasphemy, and an outright travesty. All right. So we're going to take a look at his content. We're going to see if, in fact, he's speaking from a biblical perspective. Is he speaking from his heart? Is he speaking from the Chronicles of Narnia? Is he speaking from the Book of Mormon? Where is he drawing this from? Where is his premise? What is he predicating this upon? All right. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Is this pastor right that interracial marriage is a sin? Is it a sin? What y'all think? Put it in the comment. But first, let's run the intro.
Deacon Sakari, we back at it like a crack addict. They done let them bruise in the dough in this wicked industry to shine the light on. They done let them bruise in the dough. Oh shit. They done let them bruise in the dough. They done let them bruise in the dough. They done let them bruise in the dough. We ain't going nowhere. Hebrews. They done let them bruise in the dough. They done let them bruise in the dough. Look, Joe Biden need to free Dark Lord. The hell is wrong with dude?
Free to God. Support the ministry.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Deacon Sakari, new clothing line, The Whole Armor. Put it on. New clothing line out right now. We got apparel for the sisters, apparel for the kids, and of course, apparel for the mighty men of Israel. We got quality material, affordable prices, y'all. Check it out. We got stuff for the Southern Kingdom. We got stuff for the Northern Kingdom. We got exclusivity. All right. Y'all see it. Y'all see the brew drip. Y'all see the brew sauce. All right. Deacon Sakari new clothing line called thewholearmor.com. All right. Everybody go support Israelite businesses. And I greatly appreciate y'all. Shalom. Cops hop out, we bail on them. Leviticus, I like my fish with scales on them. Ask Chief Ephraim, he can vouch. We be putting in the work while you sitting on the couch. Camp haters quiet as a mouse. Yeah, already shout out to my brother Austin Trout. Just as a reminder, if there's doubt, I wear every single fringe, even when I'm in the house. Get all your truth music at deaconsakari.com. That's 9 albums. We even got a couple free for y'all. Support the cause, y'all. I see a lot of haters. I knew it would come with it. Rap game full of evil and sin, and I don't want none of it. They bite my style. They just want to take it and run with it. Sakari Varsity Online Academy specializing in Hebrew apologetics. Come learn how to defend the gospel. Email sakariseattle@gmail.com. Limited registration. Sakari.
We are the children of the one Yahweh.
The chosen.
Ye are the chosen of the one Yahweh. And he has given his laws to us. Now everything belongs to us. We above all nations, all nations.
What?
Above all nations, all nations.
Yeah.
We are the chosen of the one Yahweh. Above all nations.
We above. We finally back on. Children's Bibles with black and brown images. I know a lot of y'all been waiting. A lot of people on back order. We still got some though. Put your order in before it's too late. I'm gonna start having them regularly, Lord willing. But get it in, let's go. Hit me up, DM. Even your head wrap, stay dipped, stay brewed dripping. All right, deaconsakari.com. All right, y'all, go to czyn.network CZYN.network. We done with Patreon. No more Patreon. CZYN.network. You're going to get videos too hot for YouTube or early releases. So go sign up. Promo code Deacon Sakari. Promo code Deacon Sakari. Promo code Deacon Sakari. Not only do you get Deacon Sakari's content, you get Guerrilla Hebrew content, Hassad content, other camps putting their content on this platform. We need our own app, so sign up using promo code Deacon Sakari. CZYN.network. It's our own app, our own platform. The white man can no longer subvert or hide or try to censor this truth. So sign up and get this heat. Promo code Deacon Sakari. Promo code Deacon Sakari. Promo code Deacon Sakari. CZYN. Praises. Get your commercial played here. Contact SakariSeattle@gmail.com. Introducing Super Thanks. YouTube has now added a feature where you can donate if you missed the live show by just clicking the heart button with the thanks on it. It'll be on every video. It'll highlight your comment to bring more attention to your statement. So if it's on your heart, super thanks. Shalom. Have you reached your marital ceiling? Are you experiencing irreconcilable differences, feeling alone with no Israelites near you? We are now offering individual and marriage counseling. We also offer family therapy, career counseling, and trauma therapy. Contact the Deacon Sakari at 442-341-1308. Shalom.
Popping mollies and putting powder in your nostrils. We be in the trenches, needles under benches. We be giving them the gospel. I keep 12 Sakari members with me. We be moving like apostles. True. Some stices is dead traps, hair rascals, just still a thought though. The church don't even know the truth. They can even tell you an Israelite. Arabs selling you all the switches and the malt liquor. Or the Ishmaelites. You can show a nigga slave ships in the Bible, still won't get it right. Until the time's out, then a nigga gotta find out what them missiles like.
All right, y'all. We back again. I want to start this off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to our Heavenly Father. Ancient Paleo Hebrew name for our Heavenly Father is Yahweh. We do so by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai. That's the ancient Paleo for his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. This is, again, the Deacon Sakari, your friendly Hebrew Israelite brother. And we are back with another Wednesday night class. White pastor says interracial marriage is a sin. Israelite reacts. Everybody hit the like video. Hit the like button. Let's get into this edification. Now, I want y'all to put it in the chat. Is interracial marriage a sin or is it not? Put a 1 if it is a sin. Put a 2 if it's not a sin. Now, it may not be that complicated. That easy. So let's do a third option. It's a sin with certain nations. Okay. So I see we got some responses in the chat. I see we got some responses in the chat. Okay, so he said, what was the question? I walked away. The question was, put a 1 if interracial marriage is a sin. Put a 2 if interracial marriage is not a sin. Put a 3 if it's a sin with only with certain nations. Now, really, God don't. Well, I I was gonna say something. I was gonna say the Most High don't care if like a East Indian marries a Chinese person. But it's not. Let me just play the video first, and then let's commentate off the video. Let's see what the Holy Text says. Let's see what the Holy Scripture says, and then let's go from there. Either we're agreeing with the Bible or we're not. We're making up our own laws of God or not. Yeah, it's an old video. Okay. Let me pull this video up. Hold on. Okay. One second, y'all. I'm trying to find. Hold on. Okay. I'm trying to find something. Hold on, real quick, y'all. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen, y'all. Let's put these fair uses up. Fair use. This is gonna be our thoughts and comments on this content. Fair use. This is gonna be our thoughts and comments on this content. Let me go ahead and pull up. Let me pull up my comment board. Speaking of. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna share my screen and let's get into this pastor. Now, this is an older video, but I haven't seen this before. So it's new to me, right? This white pastor who's supposed to be the most racist pastor in America. Now, I don't think he's saying anything wrong, to be honest with you, except for a couple minor things. I don't think this pastor is saying anything wrong for the most part, right? We should stick to our own, most definitely. We should love our own. We should procreate with our own. But what we want to understand is what are we basing this off of? Well, for one, I'm basing this off of the experience that the Black and brown community has had with white people in other nations. It has been nothing but oppression. It has been nothing but systemic racism and institutionalized racism. It's been nothing but us trusting them and then them uh, um, breaking that trust, them making treaties with us and breaking those treaties. It's been nothing but that. It's been nothing but them infiltrating our communities. It's been nothing but us trying to mix with them and them turning around and shitting on us. So for I would base it first off of our experience. That why are we even mixing, procreating, or integrating with people who have this deep disdain for us? That's one. For two, I'm basing it off the Bible. The Bible always suggests that you don't mix diverse seeds. Now, it's in the context of what I'm speaking about. That's the law dealing with like your agriculture. That's the law dealing with your agriculture, but that is also symbolic as well. All right. So um, it is suggested that we are the Israelites, that we marry our own people. Now, in the case of is it a sin or not? In the case of is it a sin or not, what the Bible tells you what a sin is. Sin is the transgression of the law, so we have to find it in the law if we say it's a sin. We cannot add to the law. That's actually a sin to add to the law. So I want to hear some of his message and how he says it's a sin and blasphemy, and see maybe he's coming across a verse that I haven't seen. I want to see where the Lord told the other nations that they couldn't marry. The Lord did other nations. That's not going to be found in the Bible, but it's suggested that you stick with your own people and practice endogamy. What is endogamy? What is endogamy? Endogamy is the custom of marrying only within the limits of a local community, clan, or tribe. So, biblically, endogamy is suggested for all nations, but there is no law that says you cannot marry other nations, this nation, that nation, that nation, that nation, the nations marrying each other, except for, and maybe some of you guys who may know the Bible better than me, that's a possibility, can show me in the law, which is Torah, where there's a prohibition of interracial marriages outside of Deuteronomy 7 and the 7 Canaanite nations. So let me unpack that for you kids who went to public school. The Bible suggests endogamy. But it does for the Israelites and the other nations. The Bible only prohibits the Israelites from not marrying or from marrying the 7 Canaanite nations in Deuteronomy 7. Does that mean the Bible is telling you to go marry other nations? No. I just said it suggests endogamy. Does that mean Sakari is telling you to go marry other nations? No. I'm suggesting endogamy in certain cases because we are the leaders of our own church here at Sakari. We can enforce that you only marry Israelites if we wanted to, but we definitely suggest that. We haven't made it a decree within our organization, but yeah. So let's get into this content and then let's read what the Bible says. Put our emotions to the side. Is he right? What scriptures is he going to bring? They're calling him the most racist pastor in America just because he wants whites to marry whites and blacks to marry blacks. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Leave that white bitch alone. Excuse my language. right? And Becky, leave Tyrone alone. Leave Jamal alone. Jamal and Tyrone, leave Karen and Becky alone. Right? So this is crazy because white people collectively are racist because they have the power to oppress, enslave, to do it systemically, institutionally, legislate with the legislation. So they have the power to oppress and not like somebody, and they do not like us just because of our skin. We don't like them because of what they did to us. That's different. So we don't look at him we don't look at that as a racist statement. Are white people inherently and innately evil? Yes. But is what he's saying right here evil? No. So let's play this.
No living.
This is from Secular. So this is from Secular Talk, and it's called "The Most Racist Pastor in America," right? Um, Now let's listen to some of this.
Of the Happy Valley Church of Jesus Christ in Tennessee just got voted the most racist pastor in America. And as you're about to see, that is well deserved.
These guys are so funny. The most racist pastor in America because he says that people should marry their own kind. Can you imagine that? Now, look, you can put that on me. You can put that jacket on me, possibly because I'm gonna say they're ugly, they smell like wet dog and mayonnaise. They got dog hair, they got lice, they shed and peel while they're in bed with you, they kiss their dogs, they lay with their dogs, they eat out of their dog bowls. They're genetically and biologically inferior. Did I mention they stink? I might say that. Then I might tell you why we shouldn't marry Asians and give you a whole list just like that. Very degrading and derogatory. That's me. I'll do that. That jacket should be on me. He's just going to say, now there's a point where he says a beautiful black woman should not lay with a white man to make a mulatto. I get it. I'm with you. That's not like us, the Hebrew Israelites. We're going to talk about you like a piece of trash. He's actually saying it respectfully and generously. We're not. So let's hear it.
A pitiful thing. Not holy, not wonderful, and everybody should do it. Friends, it's worldly.
It's worldly. Now, like I said, I don't agree with everything he's saying. Like, I'm not saying it's well, yes, it is unholy, but I don't know if you can call it worldly. It is unholy. The reason why is because holy means what, friends? Holy means what? Fishermen for Yahweh, the water for keeping a $2 drive alive. So holy means what, friends? What does holy mean? Set apart, separate. So we're not setting ourselves apart if we're mixing with the nations. So he has a point there. Let's keep going.
Friends, it's worldly. Why is it so many black basketball stars, black football stars, black baseball stars want a white wife? Why?
Now he's got a point. See, nah, I'm with you. I'm with him. I'm with the devil on this one. I agree with the devil. I know somebody's going to take that and clip it. Go ahead. I don't care. I agree with the devil here. The Bible say, even the devil will know and they tremble. So the devil knows some truth. He said, why do so many black athletes want a white wife? Because of Stockholm syndrome, because of the Willie Lynch syndrome, because they feel like it validates them in the white society. But me, and you could clip this too, I think Sakari has about 300 members. So 300 members, that's a lot of people. If we all was to descend upon you, that's more than any gang, at least any gang in one city. Now, if all the gangs came, like if all the Crips came from every city, it'll be way more than that. But in one city, ain't gonna be more than 300 niggas that'll just show up and mobilize. But we also got Sakari affiliates. We also got you guys. But my stance has always been this. It's not smart. It's not smart knowing that the Bible talks about race riots and race wars. It's not smart to be running around with Becky when all hell breaks loose. It's just not smart. Because like I said, it could be 300 Sakari members mobilizing and we're going to take you in, but she can't come. And if you got a problem, both of y'all might have to get your head busted to white meat. I'm just saying it's not smart. Knowing that we're in the end times, no, especially if you're a Christian, you should know that race riots are coming, race wars are coming. That's New Testament, Matthew chapter 24, right? But again, all these celebrities, they want the white woman because it will validate them in a white society. It's like their trophy. It's like their statement of, oh, I made it. Then you end up getting sued and canceled and your career is over and you're on child support and now you're bugging out and now you're on Ritalin and now you're on Prozac and now you're on all these medicated drugs, prescription pills, Perk 30s, oxycodone. That's what happens. You get ruined. And now your children are confused. Your children are confused now. They're like, my white side don't want me because I'm not fully white. My black side don't want me because I'm not fully black. Now you got these kids who are confused. Now, again, my statement is clear, everybody. I'm not saying it's a sin because I don't see it in the law, except for in Deuteronomy 7, where it says the Israelites cannot marry the other nations. All right? The 7 Canaanite nations, the 7 nations of Canaan. But the Bible does suggest endogamy, meaning to marry your own kind. All right? So let's continue.
Lord have mercy.
Hey, I seen Isaiah Israel posted Numbers 36 and 7. Let me just help you out on that. I don't know why you posted that. I'm not sure why, but let me explain that for you. If Israelite man does not have daughters, in this particular case, it was the Levites, does not have sons rather, then to keep his lineage going and that inheritance, he has to have his daughters marry a Levite. That's that whole context there. We see Israelites marrying other tribes of Israel. We see King David, who was a Judite, take Saul's daughter, who was a Benjamite, and the Bible does not say that that is or was a sin. So I'm not sure why you posted that. I just wanted to explain that real quick. Let's continue here.
Want a white wife? Black football star. Why is it so many black basketball stars, black football stars, black baseball stars? Want a white wife?
It can't be because they think they're cute. They're just insecure and want validation. It just can't be because they think they're beautiful.
Why?
Beauty and white woman, to put those two words even together is oxymoronic and static. It's real staticky when you put the word beautiful and white woman together. Oh, they're gonna be mad at me.
Lord have mercy. It's another defiance of God's law.
So he said it's another defiance of God's law. Now he keeps saying that it's in God's law, but with all my studies in God's law, which the Bible tells you what God's law is, 1 John 3 and 4 says, whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is transgression of the law. We know what the law is. It's called the law of Moses. It's called the law of God. Paul further proves this in Romans 7 and 7. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid. Nay, I had not known sin but by the law. So he says, the way you figure out that you're sinning is by what law you're breaking. And then he tells you where you can find this law. For I have not known lust, except the law had said, thou shalt not covet. This is the law of Moses. You break that, you're committing sin. So maybe he's doing like certain Israelites do, because certain Israelites do go to Deuteronomy 7, and they just go to verse 3, which is a Hebrew Israelites, just like Christians sometimes, have a problem contextualizing passages. You can't just go to verse 3 and say, see, that's talking about everybody. No, contextually, it's mentioning in verse 1, it says, when the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and has cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, 7 nations greater than and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, right? It says, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Who to them? The 7 nations that he mentioned. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Maybe he's taken this, like certain Hebrew Israelite Christians do, and apply this to everybody. That's not what the context says. That's not what God said. Let's continue.
Is a worldly way. And then it creeps over into the message. Tell me what's the difference in preaching against bobbed hair, painted face, shorts, all this, that, and other, being worldly, and we let this worldly means come right in, and we're afraid to say one thing about it. And let me tell you right up front, any of you young people, you want to marry a black man, you girls, don't ask me to do it. I will not. I refuse. I cannot do it with a conscience toward God and look these quotes in the face.
Now, what's funny is that I'm with you. Don't ever marry no two-legged dog, no two-legged lassie to a powerful black man. Never marry a two-legged lassie to powerful black men. All right. Never marry a because he's saying that he's reading some quotes. I have yet to see which quote that he's talking about, though. Which quote he's talking about. I have yet to see that. Which quote is he reading from the Bible? But he's acting like he's an Israelite. Like God told white people not to do this. God only told Israelites not to marry Canaanites. So unless you're trying to insert yourself into the text as some British Israelism type of doctrine.
You white brothers, you find a black sister, you want to marry an African or whatever more, don't ask Brother Donnie. I'll quit church. Suit yourself.
He said, and to you white boys, if you want to marry a black woman, I will not marry you. And this is why. This is why, brothers and sisters, you got to put on the whole armor. Deacon Sakari new clothing line. You got to put on the whole armor. And you also got to go to czyn.network, y'all. For those of y'all that are on czyn.network, you got to hear this. Hold on, let me go here real quick. I think it's up right now. This just went up. This cannot go on YouTube. I'm going to try to play like just a little bit. I had to go off on the Jewish man at camp. Oh, it was bad. It was bad, guys. Because he came up and he was like, oh, you guys are crying. So sad. So sad. You guys are mad that the Jews are successful. This is what this Jewish man is telling me, right? I snapped, everybody. Oh, I snapped. And I said some things that could never, ever make it to the light of YouTube, or they would take this channel down. Jesus is Lord, and the rest of you super chatters, I really appreciate you guys for supporting the ministry. May the Most High bless y'all 100-fold. And Stro Boogie, it's already on CZYN, so you seen it already? Oh, I had to get him, guys.
Baby, it's on camera. You got your mazita at the back?
So I asked him, did he get his oral circumcision? He's trying to act like he don't know what it is. Like, I don't know how, I'm not saying it right in the Hebrew, but he knows what a Brit Milah is. Watch this. So I'm asking him, did you get your oral circumcision?
Fire Morel? You got your mazita at the back? You got a Brit Milah?
You don't know about the teaser?
How? The rabbi put his mouth on your penis when you were a baby. He did?
So I asked him, and then I asked him, yeah, it's on CZYN. I asked him, did a rabbi put his mouth on when you were a baby? And he said yes. And he just had to walk away, but he came back. And that's when he started talking shit, like, excuse my language, like, oh, you guys are crying because we're the real Jews and we're successful. And I said some things to him, guys, that it was a heated argument, I'll tell you that. But go to czyn.network and make sure you use promo code Deacon Sakari so that you guys can see that content. Let me go back here. Okay.
African or whatever more, don't ask Brother Donnie. I'll quit church. Suit yourself. I'd rather you quit than me get in trouble with God.
SakariSeattle@gmail.com. SakariSeattle@gmail.com to join the Sakari Varsity Online Academy specializing in Hebrew apologetics.
Well, glory.
There's like a fucking caricature out of a bad comedy movie, right?
No, this is not the good one. There's another one. Hold on. There's another one. Here we go.
Recently, a video.
Again, fair use is going to be our thoughts and comments on this content. And then let's get into what the scriptures say.
There's a move in the message of blacks marrying whites, whites marrying blacks, and folks think it's all right.
Wooter Rags says that Nehemiah 13 says, don't marry Moab and Ammon, and they were cursed for it. That's not true. They weren't cursed for it. It was their children was being brought up in the ways of their mother. And they were bringing Ammonites and Moabites near the temple. That's what they were doing. Also at that time, they were marrying the 7 Canaanite nations. So you got to read Ezra and Nehemiah to see exactly what they were doing. Sorry, sir.
Whites marrying blacks, and folks think it's all right. But you know what? My God still has nationalities outside the city. Now watch this. Brother Bram says hybriding, how terrible hybriding. They hybrid the people. It's a big molding pot. I got hundreds of precious colored friends that's born again Christians. But on this line of segregation and things that they're talking about, hybriding the people, what? Tell me what a fine cultured, fine Christian colored woman would want her baby to be a mulatto by a white man. Nope.
Hey, that's a good point. What type of beautiful, so-called black woman, beautiful Israelite woman in general, will want to give your womb to your oppressors, your enslavers, and to the devil? Even the white man knows that's stupid. Even the white man knows that an Israelite woman giving her womb to a white man is asinine, is a travesty, is a blasphemy. Even the devil knows that.
It's not right.
What in the world is he talking about with nationalities outside the city?
What does that even mean? I don't know, but the one thing that I really do want to...
You guys know what hybriding means?
Isn't this video right-winger?
Look,
I didn't walk...
Woman. Tell me what good, smart, intelligent, beautiful colored woman. And you tell me what KKK guy would call a black woman beautiful. You tell me what white supremacists would call any black woman beautiful.
So now he's trying to say he's not KKK or a white supremacist, which is a lie, because all you guys are innately and inherently evil. You can just suppress it at times. Now, again, I don't think what you're saying is racist, but just because you're saying this does not mean you're not racist. I want to say that again. What you're saying is not racist, but just because you're saying this, it doesn't mean that you're not racist. For example, you said you called a black woman beautiful. So you said, how can I be racist or KKK if I called a black woman beautiful? Well, the KKK raped black women because they were beautiful. White supremacists raped black women because they were beautiful. Hello?
This is not from a white supremacist. This is not from a racist. This is from a prophet of God.
Can't no prophet be a prophet unless you're an Israelite?
Watch him honor and give respect, not putting the white above the other or the black above the other. Beautiful colored woman would want to have a baby by a white man to make it a mulatto. Not sense. Many things the color. Now listen, white folks. Many things that
we love Israel.
Mulatto. Not sense. Many things the color. Now listen, white folks. Many things the colored people has is far beyond the white man. This is not a white supremacist saying this. This is not a racist saying this. This is a man who loves truth.
I heard it.
Now it's funny because if you go to, this is the Young Turks, man. I got to give you guys an L for this. You guys got to hold the L for this because in all these other countries they practice endogamy. So why? Because this is being said in America, this melting pot. Like over in Turkey or in the Middle East, in parts of in Africa, majority of the world, except for these nasty Edomite countries, majority of the world, the Asian world, the African world, the Middle Eastern world, practice endogamy, which is marrying your own people. But you guys would never condemn other cultures, societies, and countries outside of America for saying that. But when somebody says it in America, it's a big deal.
More. Let's do video 6.
All right, let's go.
And let me tell you right up front, you young people, you want to marry a black man, you girls, don't ask me to do it, because I will not. I refuse. I cannot do it with a conscience toward God and look these quotes in the face. You white brothers, you find a black sister, you want to marry an African or whatever more, don't ask Brother Donnie. I'll quit church, suit yourself. I'd rather you quit than me get in trouble with God. Well, glory.
So he loves black people, but obviously they're none in his congregation because he said, all you white men, you want to marry black women, or all you white women, you want to marry black men. There's no fucking way a black person would go to that sermon.
Okay, that's too surprising.
First of all, there's no black person on this panel, so how the hell you gonna tell what a black person would do in there? I will go there and cheer him on. And guess what? I got the black card with the most stamps. There's not one. Well, there are. I'll say this. The leaders of the Israelite community have the black card with the most stamps out of any other so-called black people on the planet. It ain't Dr. Umar because he's still respectful because he has to move around in this society and do lectures and go places where venue where white people own them. But I mean, the leaders of One West, not even the Israelite community, I'm sorry, because there's some Israelites who love white people, but the One West leaders have the black card with the most stamps. So say I would be in that church clapping. It ain't a nigga on this earth outside of a couple other One West leaders who is more pro-black and brown than me and who will really get active on the other nations. What's that? Oh. Mm-hmm. Where's your mom at? Okay. Yeah, so what was we talking about? Let's continue.
Refuse. I cannot do it with a conscience toward God and look these quotes in the face. You white brothers, you find a black sister, you want to marry an African or whatever more, don't ask Brother Donnie. I'll quit church, suit yourself. I'd rather you quit than me get in trouble with God. Well, glory.
He loves black people, but obviously they're none in his congregation because he said, all you white men, you want to marry black women, or all you white women, you want to marry black men. There's no fucking way a black person would go to that sermon.
Well, I would go and I'll say, that's right. Black power. I'll be in that congregation like, that's right, Black Power. Right? So I wanna read a couple things. Because like I said, he's saying it's a sin. He's saying it's unholy. He's saying that it's worldly. Now he has a point for some of these things. But again, we establish what a sin is. We establish what a sin is. A sin is a transgression of the law. So we need to, and for those of you who are just joining, I brought up the word for the day, endogamy. Endogamy is the custom of marrying only within the limits of a local community or clan, right? Or a tribe. Mark that word and remember it. Right? So the Bible does suggest this for all nations, but a suggestion and a law is two different things. Suggestions, inferences, advisories is not law. Giving wisdom is not law. Only place in the law we see the prohibition of the Israelites marrying other nations is Deuteronomy 7, but this is only the 7 Canaanite nations from Ham. All right? Does this mean, I got to say this for those who went to public school and not private school, does this mean the Bible suggests you marry other nations? No. Does it mean Sakari suggesting you to marry the other nations? No. The Bible tells you it is a shame to marry the other nations, but it doesn't say it is a sin to marry the nation. Let's show that. So I pulled up a couple scriptures before this, right? And this is Deuteronomy 21. Now, in Deuteronomy 21, the Israelites are going to war in verse 10. And it says in verse 11, if you see among the captives a beautiful woman, this is the other nations. You're going to war with the other nations. If you see a beautiful woman and you have desire, thou wouldest have her to wife. You could bring her home and you can marry her, but you're not bound to her forever like you are with an Israelite woman. Because it says you can take her, right? Verse 14, but if you have no delight in her no more, let her go. But with an Israelite woman, you are bound to them unless there's some type of fornication. So this is just an example in the law where it's telling the Israelites that they can deal with heathen women that they're going to war with outside of these Deuteronomy 7 nations, right? Now, I'm not saying that, this justifies, I'm just saying what happened in the biblical times within the biblical historicity, right? Now, another thing, King David. One of King David's wives was a Syrian, I believe. Look at 1 Chronicles 3 and 2. So it's mentioning King David's children. And it says, the third, Absalom, the son of Maacah, the daughter of Talmai, king of Jeshur. So he was a Jeshurite. The Jeshurites were not our people. Matter of fact, okay, cool, yeah. So they're not here. Because these are the Jebusites, Perizzites, Jebusites. So they're not here on the 7 nations, but they were among that area, the Jeshurites. Because remember, it said we couldn't we couldn't kick out all the Jeshurites. So King David had a Jeshurite woman. That's who Absalom was born from. Was this a sin for King David? Jeshur, not Jasher. Jeshurite. I'm gonna go up close and highlight it. Jeshurite. Right? Now let's take a look at this word for gesture. No, is it 15 total? Yeah, so you got it all of them right. So how much money you get?
30.
Okay. Gesture or Gesturites? Gesture or Gesturites? A land in the Transjordania, in North Transjordania, right? Gesture, a district of Syria. So they would have been the ancient Syrians. A region of Syria subject to King Tamar, whose daughter David took to wife. Jeshur, neighborhood of Gilead, the Jeshurites, mentioned immediately under. Nevertheless, they cannot expel all the Jeshurites. So they were not Israelites. And King David married one of their daughters. Did the Bible say this is a sin? No. Because the Bible says King David only committed this one sin in First Kings 15:5. Because David did that which was right in the eyes of the Lord and turned not aside from anything that he commanded him in all the days of his life, save only in the matter of Uriah the Hittite. The only thing David ever did wrong was in the matter of Uriah the Hittite. Now you might say, well, but he numbered Israel. Yeah, he did number Israel, but that sin wasn't counted to his record. Why? Because to stop the angel from killing, he made a sacrifice, an animal sacrifice. An animal sacrifice took away his sin like Leviticus said it would. Now let's go to where it's suggested. It is suggested that we marry our own. Tobit 4:12. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, and take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe. For we are children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even they all marry wives of their own kindred. Now, generally, they did, yes. But Abraham had Hagar. She was Ham. Jacob had Syrian, even though that was a Hebrew people. And then we see King David with Assyrian. But generally, our forefathers did marry, not every single marriage, but generally they did marry their own. And were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. Even Moses, he married the Ethiopian woman and the Midianite woman as well. So in Genesis 34:14, even with our women, it's suggested that they don't marry outside of their own people, or it's a shame. Genesis 34:14 with Dinah, it says, and they said unto them, we cannot do this thing to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised of the other nations, for that were a reproach unto us. So he said, giving our woman to the other nations is a reproach. Well, what is the word for reproach? The word for reproach is scorn, taunt, scorn, reproach, scorn. What does it mean to scorn? Scorn. A feeling or belief that something is worthless or despicable. Worthless or despicable. That's what that means. Right? So I don't see anything wrong with the pastor is saying. I'm not, like I said, I don't agree with everything he said, but the thing he's saying about we need to marry our own, absolutely. The Bible speaks about that. But is it a law? It's only a law for the Israelites not to marry the 7 Canaanite nations. All right. My wives are Israelites. You understand that? And Sakari leadership in general, all their wives are Israelites. So love your own, marry your own. He's right. More white pastors and preachers need to come out and say that. Tell white people to leave, stop marrying the black folks. And we are telling our people to stop marrying them. We're doing our job. And we've been doing our job. That was only one white pastor to say that. More white pastors and preachers need to come out and say that, because we, the leaders in our community, been saying that. All right, y'all. So that's all I got for y'all today. Tune in Friday. Oh, it's going to be a barn burner. Let's end this by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. We do so by Shema Mashiach Yahushai. Check out Deacon Sakari's new clothing line, y'all, and go get Hebrew Dripped Out. Go get Hebrew Dripped Out and support Israelite businesses. I'm going to put the link in the chat for that. Until next time, y'all, peace and shalom.